All right, everybody, we're coming to you live out here at Barnett Stadium, baby, and it's the 5th Ward Phyllis Wheatley Wildcat versus the 3rd Ward Jack Yates Lion, the rematch of the playoff district for last year, and the Wildcats took it and went all the way to the state. They didn't win it, but at least they went to the Final Four. But tonight is a rematch. Jack Yates is trying to get even. But let me explain to you about the Phyllis Wheatley Wildcats basketball program. They hold a record, 17 state championships in 5th Ward, Phyllis Wheatley, 4900 Market Street. They haven't won a state championship on Providence yet, but they got 17 state championships. Number one, we got 13 championships with Coach Colin Briggs. And we got another 4 state championship with no other than Jackie Carr. This started back in 1948 when Dr. Caldwell hired Colin Briggs to be over the Phyllis Wheatley program of basketball. And that was when Phyllis Wheatley was on the corner of Market and Grigg Street. And no other than the captain of that team was no other than Jackie Carr. The co-captain was Dr. John E. Caldwell's son, John Caldwell Jr., who later on went to be the first black to be on the Michigan Wolverines basketball team. And then you had Jackie Carr, other little brother, Michael Carr. All was on that first state championship in 1948 of Phyllis Wheatley. But now in 1949, Phyllis Wheatley and Coach Colin Briggs tried to get a repeat. But Jack Yates, Coach Andrew Patterson, 1949, where he won a triple crown, baseball, basketball, and football. And he upset the favorite, Phyllis Wheatley, 1949. Jackie Carr was on that team. Tex Harrison went on to play for the Globetrotters, was on that team. Also, Lord Wells was on that 1948 team when they won the state championship. And also on that team was no other than the principal's son, John Caldwell Jr. And they won it in 1948. Jack Yates came and spoiled in 1949. But Colin Briggs told everybody out in 5th Ward, including the Phyllis Wheatley Wildcat alumni, that Jack Yates will never beat them again. And his word was his bond, because in 1950, Coach Colin Briggs and Phyllis Wheatley won 8 state championships in a row. The only reason why they didn't win it in 59 and 60 because Cashmere Garden came in and took a lot of their players away from Phyllis Wheatley, and they had to go to Cashmere High School. But now, in the 2000s, Jack Yates now is becoming to be a powerhouse in basketball. They won the national championship in 2000 and 2001. But now you also got to give Phyllis Wheatley their credit, because they opened the door for blacks when the segregation came in and integration came in and segregation came out. It was the 1968 Phyllis Wheatley Wildcats, along with Mr. Jerome, well, at that time, Dwight Jones, along with my good friend, who was the captain of that team, Jerry Boney. They was the first one to open up integration. They won 3 years in a row. They had a three-peat, 68, 69, and 70. And then in 69, that was the last year of Colin Briggs. And Jackie Carr took the torch and kept the Phyllis Wheatley program kept going on. But now let's go back to the beginning of the program. It all started at E.O. Smith, the E.O. Smith Mustang, and the coach of that basketball team that was training all those guys in the 50s to feed into the Phyllis Wheatley Wildcat and Colin Briggs program was no other than Coach Edward Evans. We know it in Houston, and Jack Yates is Doc Evans. He was over the first basketball team in E.O. Smith. He was training all those guys. Once they left E.O. Smith, they knew the program of Colin Briggs. That's the reason why they won 8 state championships in a row. But now, later on, Mr. Evans, Coach Edwin Evans, they call him Doc Evans, he left in 1956 and went over to Jack Yates to help Mr. William Holland because Coach Patterson was no longer a basketball coach because he had more responsibility being a football and baseball coach. But tonight, we are here to celebrate the 2025 season of Jack Yates Lions and the Phyllis Wheatley Wildcats. 3rd Ward against 5th Ward. North Side against South Side. Let's get it on, y'all.
Here's the Jack Yates High School.
another third ward finish. It's Phyllis Wheatley again, baby. I told you, baby, it's hard for Jack Yates to stop that curse that Phyllis Wheatley have on the basketball. But in 2000, we did break the curse, and it was a good game, just like it was in 1948, 1949, when Jack Yates upset Phyllis Wheatley. Well, tonight, Phyllis Wheatley did it again.